Hello everyone! Today we're going to be learning how to make this cute little penguin in the snow. For a full list of the materials you need, you can check the description box down below. Let's get started. For this project, you will need one piece of light blue construction paper, water to clean your brush, a paintbrush, a pencil crayon, and some paint. My paint is tempera paint. That means that it washes off pretty easily. At home you might have tempera paint too, or you might have acrylic paint. If you're using acrylic paint, you need to be very careful because it doesn't wash out. I have black, white, blue, and even though it looks red on camera, this is orange. I also have some paper towel so that I can brush off any extra water from my paintbrush. I'm going to clear off my area, have my pencil crayon ready to get started. Let's go! I'm ready to get started. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make the outline of my penguin. My penguin is kind of like a bump. I'm not going to start at the very bottom because I'm going to add snow there. I'm just going to draw a big bump and curve it around. That's going to be the body of my penguin. I'm going to make a second bump inside of that, and that's going to be his white tummy. All right, I'm ready to get started. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get my painting materials ready. I have everything that I need to start painting. I'm going to start with white because it's the lightest color. That way, if any gets stuck in my brush, I can just get rid of it. I've made sure that his tummy is all covered. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to wash off my brush, and then I'm going to make his beak. I've washed off my brush and I've dried it out on my paper towel. Now I'm going to take some orange and I'm going to make a triangle sort of in the middle here. That's going to be his beak. I need a little bit of space above to make his eyes. When I do this, I'm going to make a triangle shape. I was very gentle when coloring in the beak because I was a little worried that my white paint might still be wet. If you wanted to make sure that your paint was super dry, you could always wait and come back once the paint is dry to the touch. Now I'm going to rinse off my brush and I'm going to paint the outside of this black. It doesn't quite look like a penguin yet, but there are a couple of things that I can do to help that. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add some wings. The wings aren't super big, and penguins don't fly, so they don't look like a normal bird's wings. I'm going to go sort of from the middle, just below the beak, and I'm going to swoosh out. Just like that. Then I'm going to match it up on the other side and swoosh out there too. It doesn't have to be perfect, I'm just doing my best job. All right, one last thing to make our penguin look more like a penguin. I'm going to add some eyes. There, doesn't he look cute? I'm going to let him dry, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to give him a scarf and add some snow. See you soon. My penguin is dry, so now I'm going to add some details. I'm going to start by adding some snow to the bottom of my painting. When I do this, I want to be really careful that I'm not getting any paint on my table. So if you're at home, you might use some scrap paper or newspaper. I'm going to use paper towel. Now that the snow is on the bottom of my painting, I'm going to add some snowflakes like they're falling from the sky. I don't want to get paint on my arm, so I'm going to flip my page upside down. That way I can avoid the wet spot at the top while it starts to dry. Now that I've added the snow, I'm going to give my penguin a scarf. If your paint is still really wet, you might want to wait a little bit, but I think that mine is okay. I'm going to be very careful with my painting. I'm using the color blue for my scarf, but you can choose what color you like best. Remember, the scarf is going to go around his neck. Now that my penguin has his scarf, I'm going to rinse off my brush and I'm going to go back into the orange and I'm going to give him some feet. Now all we have to do is wait for him to dry and we have our beautiful penguin art. If you'd like to share your penguin art with the rest of the class, you can add it to our Celebrations of Learning page.